So today it's about evaluating functions. So if we have a function like this, why don't we just say y equals 2x plus 7? Well, in some ways we should, because then you could just graph it. You guys would know how to graph that, right? So remember this, f of x and y mean the same thing. But here's the little tiny advantage of saying f of x. If I want to stick 3 in, and I say f of x is 2x plus 7, the nice part is when you put a 3 in, watch, the 3 goes there, right? It tells me what I stuck in. If I had just said y equals, do you get it wouldn't tell me what I had stuck in? Here it says f of 3 means, hey, I stuck in a 3. And then I got 6, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 7 is 13. So f of 3 is 6 plus 7 is 13. That's called evaluating a function. You just stick a number in. And the nice part is, it's still carrying around, this is what I stuck in. I stuck in a 3, and I got a 13. All right, just to clarify, that's a y value. Because that's like y equals. It's just like y equals, except, by the way, we stuck in a 3. They could have done it this way. Y, we stuck a 3 in, equals 13. See what I mean? I actually might like that method better. But we'd say f of 3 is 13. Okay, so what's a typical question today? Well, there's 3 different kinds. Sometimes they give you a chart. X, Y, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What if I said, what's f of 4? Look on this chart. You'd have to figure out what the answer is. Remember how I said this is a y value? F of 4 means we stuck in a 4. And what's the answer? We got a 5. What if I asked you, what's f of 2 then? Don't overthink this. What's f of 2? 3. The y value here. And I stuck a 2 in. This is the 2 that you'd stick in. X's are the inputs. This is where the x goes. Okay, so what if I have a point 6 comma 7? What's the x?
6.
What's the f of x?
7.
7. See how this is x and this is f of x? Because f of x is the same thing as y, right? Okay, so what if I give you a picture like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the graph goes like this. And this is 1, 2, 3. What's f of 4? Remember, I'm asking for a y value. And this is the x value. So I basically just said, hey, what if I stick in 4? What do I get? Look on this chart. This is the x's. This is the y's. Hazel, what did I stick in for x here in this problem?
4.
Did you follow it up here?
Yeah.
And did you know that was the answer?
Yeah.
And then what is the answer, though? What's the number?
3.
Because this is the point 4 comma 3. And they already gave me the 4. We already knew that. And they wanted to know this part. So the answer was 3. How many of you had a 3? Okay, good. Then what's f of 1? Kieran, what's f of 1?
1.
Yep, it's right here. And that's the point 1 comma 1. So you stick in a 1, you get a 1. What's f of 2. Josh, what's f of 2? Yep. Here's where a 2 is. I stick a 2 in, and I get this point, 2 comma 2. This is the x, this is the f of x. F of 2 is 2. Sharky, what's f of 3?
2.
3 comma 2. You are correct, it's 2. All right, I feel like you're getting it. All right, here's one more kind. Another table. We're going to have x, we're going to have f of x, and we're going to have g of x. Whoa. 2, 3, and 4. 4, 6, and 8. And g of x, 4, 9, and 16. All right. Everybody figure out what f of 3 is. Not g of 3, f of 3. Write it down, f of 3 equals, and then zoom in on it, and I'll tell you if you're right or not. What do you think it is? Just write f of 3 equals, and then in a moment I'll ask you to show me what you think it is. F of 3. Okay, I'm logging your results. Thank you, thank you. Not telling you if you're right or not. Thank you. Thank you. Yup. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Got an idea? Okay, thank you. All right. So I've got a lot of opinions, and most of them were the same answer. Watch me do it now. F of 3, here's where x should go. That's like f of x, right? So what did I say x was? It's like I said x was 3. When I said f of 3, it was like I was saying, hey, by the way, x is 3. So then I go here, and which one should go with it? F of x. Not the g of x, the f of x. So it's 6. It's that one right there. How many of you had 6? Good. Then what's g of 4? Write down what you think it is. This isn't in the notes because I'm making up new problems. Good, good. What's g of 4? Yup. Yup. Close. You went one line up. G of 4. It'll be in the bottom right. Yup. Nope. G of 4. Yup. 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 Okay. Yep. Okay. G of 4 was here's like I was saying G of x. And x is 4. And then I got to figure out which one's g. Oh, that's g. And I go down to where it was 4. And it was these two together. It was 16. G of 4 was 16. All right. One more off that same chart. What if I said f of x is 4, what's x? Whoa, that's different. It's like a little logic puzzle. You can do it. If f of x is 4, what was x? Yep, yep. Yep. All right. Here's f of x was 4, so what was the x? You go back this way, the x was 2. Okay. I think you know everything you need to know to do the first few problems of the Schoology quiz. Would everybody open the Schoology quiz, please? And I will help you get started on it. And then today, during our work time, I'm going to ask every kid to come up and ask me just one question about your first 20, because you all got a score that was less than perfect, okay? So let's say you got a 7 out of 10 on yesterday's little quiz. I'm going to ask you to come up and ask me about one of them. And if you don't ask me about one of them, just say, these are the three that I got wrong, and I understand what I did on all of them. That's cool, that works. So I just want to talk about yesterday's quiz with each of you. All right, what is the very first question on the Schoology quiz? It's got one of those little thingies. Thank you. And if I have two little... Oh, it's that. I'm sorry. I thought it was this. Okay. Thank you. Let me copy that chart down. X, Y, -1, 6, 5, -2, 1, 4, -1, 10. Thank you. All right. What are we supposed to do with this? Hazel, what's the first question actually say to do with all these numbers?
It's a true or false. The table below represents a function.
Do you remember yesterday it was the vertical line test? Does that ring a bell? What if I graphed these things? If I graph them and there's ever any spots where it's like this, where there's one above the other, do you get it won't pass the vertical line test? That'd be a way. Another way to say it is, are there any inputs that had two different outputs? Raise your hand and tell me something about this. Somebody's noticed it by now. Is it a function or not? You say it's not. Why not?
Because there's two, well, it has -1 twice, and they have different outputs.
Different outputs. Very good. Okay, so that was a review yesterday. The other one's got like these circle things. And let's say they have 1, 2, and 3 here. But I'm making one up 5, 7, 9. Do you get if it ever does this? One gives you 5 and one also gives you 7. Do you get one input is giving you two outputs and then it's not a function? So if it ever does that, where one input gets paired up with two different outputs, that's not a function. All right. Keep going. If you get stuck, ask for help. And I will call each of you up one by one and ask you to look at yesterday's first 20 quiz. And I want to help you with one thing that you're like, oh, still don't get how to do this kind. Okay? That's all I got for you for the video for today.